Hello everybody. Today we woke up at 7 in the morning and we went to a market to have time to buy a hefty bull leg weighing in 33 kilograms. By the way, at the store it cost us around $100 US in total. At the same market, juice was prepared from ripe pomegranates, and we got as much as 3 liters. We also collected a set of spices for the marinade. In the supermarket, we bought 4 packs of sugar-free cereal, as much as 100 liters of oil, and a lot of flour. This cost us another $100. We also bought some sheep metal. Why do we need it? You'll find out later. And now we just start cooking. We have a big leg, but it needs to be cleaned up. There's a lot of excess fat here. And a lot of film that needs to be cut off. They will only interfere with the penetration of the marinade into the meat. When the piece is clean, moisten the paper towel with vinegar and walk over the surface of the meat. It was lying in the open air, so this needs to be done. And now we make incisions all over the leg to the meat itself. That way we will simplify the penetration of the marinade inside. Done. Now it's time for the marinade. It needs some natural pomegranate juice. We have 3 liters, but we'll put 1 bottle aside for now. We'll need it later. Open up the rest and pour 2.5 liters of juice into the saucepan. We evaporate all this juice for a very long time until it looks like a syrup. Now for the spices. We have a lot of them. Pour some dried garlic into a bowl, then the cumin into a mortar. And together with the salt, let's grind it all up. Throw that also into the bowl. We got some dried tomatoes, thyme, sumac, paprika, an unknown spice to me which is called jambula, ground coriander, coriander in grains, black pepper, sweet pepper, and hot pepper. We fill all this with salt and mix it up, just like this. This entire mixture of spices is poured into the pomegranate syrup and mixed up. The last spice that's left, which is needed fresh, is rosemary. We only need the leaves. We grind them up and shift them into the same place. Mix this all together, and the marinade is completely ready. It is sweet, salty, and sour. In general, it's the most powerful sauce. We smear it all over the bull's leg. The main thing is that as many spices as possible get into those incisions that we did earlier. Turn this all over to the other side and continue. But that's not it. We take a glass and fill it with some pomegranate juice. And in the second glass, we dilute some water with a lot of salt. Now we take a couple of syringes. We collect 1 liquid, the second, and prick our meat with it. This is necessary so that the thickest pieces inside do not turn out to be bland. And we've done this with the whole solution. So now we take a large container, cover it with cling wrap, and put our leg in there. Cover it with some more film on top, and we leave it in there to marinate, listen up, for 24 hours. After this is done, we remove the film, and you can immediately see how much the meat is softened. We scrape out the excess spices with our hand. Now we need some reinforced construction foil, because a usual foil, it's not gonna hold. Unfold it, cut off the desired piece, then spread the leg out on top, and wrap it up. We bend to the bottom first and tighten the edges. We fix this all with a construction stapler. Don't worry, then when we unwrap all this, the staples will stay in the foil. We will also wrap the bone so that it doesn't burn. Tightly pinch off the edges. And there you go, our leg is packed. We transfer this to the bath so that the juice from the meat flows and it'll be staying in it. We bake all this in a huge oven. It has been warming up all morning, for 7 hours already. Open up the doors and push that piece of meat in there. We closed it up, and at first we decided to leave it for all 6 hours at a temperature of 200 degrees. 4 hours later, a thermometer was inserted into the meat, and it became clear to us that all this should be put on a hill so that it would cook faster, since the temperature is higher at the top. And we left the leg for another 10 hours. When the temperature inside reaches more than 55 degrees, the meat is ready. After that, we forgot about the thermometer and just closed it in the oven. That's what happened to him 5 minutes later. It is completely melted. The most annoying thing is that this is an expensive thermometer for about $50, and we bought it on the same day. As they say, let us know in the comments if you ever had a thing that you broke on the first day of purchase. Our meat is ready. You can pull it out. We cut the foil. And we're left with very tender meat. If you think that this is the end of the recipe, then you are very much mistaken. The most interesting is yet to come. In one spot, the bone is separated from the meat. Therefore, let's put some foil on it and cut off the bone with a hacksaw in the middle. Now the leg needs to be breaded. To do this, we take 3 large containers. In one, we pour some flour, about 10 kilograms. In the second, flakes without sugar, 3 packs. And the third one we'll fill up with water. First, we shift the bull's leg into the flour and sprinkle it all over the sides. Then into the water. Pour over the top that's not submerged. Back to the flour. To the water. Flour. Water. And finally the cornflakes. We fill everything as much as possible so that there are no gaps in the meat. Now our leg is almost breaded. Meanwhile, my dad whipped up a huge deep frying bath. The main thing is to reliably boil all the seams so that oil does not leak through them. That's what happens, a huge bath with a lattice like this. We will warm up the fryers with the help of bonfires, therefore we lay out 2 barbecues. And we need to chop up some wood. Done. We crumple up some paper and throw it into the grill. Spread some thin chips on top. And then bigger and bigger firewood. Everything's ready. We put our iron bath on top, and we wash it well from the inside. Now you need 100 liters of oil. We open up each one and pour it into the container. Now you can take some matches and light the fire. And while the oil is warming up, we shift our breaded leg onto the grid. And with a liquid dough like this, we smear out all the gaps and the bone itself, so that it simply doesn't burn during deep frying. Well, and we'll sprinkle some flakes. 4 hours later, the oil is finally warmed up. You can transfer the leg and lower it into the fryer. It doesn't completely sink into the oil, so we ladle some on top. It's not necessary to keep it deep fried for a very long time. In fact, we only need to fry the dough that is under the flakes. And 7 minutes will be enough for this. Let's put it back onto the paper towels. Now the breaded bull's leg is completely ready. Let's finally cut and see what we got inside. Naturally, after 14 hours in the oven, it was completely baked. But at the same time, it remained juicy inside. We put a piece on a plate. Top it with some of that pomegranate sauce. Cut off a piece, and we can try it. The meat just tastes so good. You can taste all of the spices that we added. And then there's this crispy breading straight into the thing. And of course, the meat itself just melts in your mouth. If you would like me to keep on with videos like these with great food, then just give this video a thumbs up.